The forgotten quadruple homicide. 20-year-old Grayden Denham, a name you probably haven't heard of. He's from a small town of 600 called Edgerton in Missouri. He's charged with murdering both of grandparents, Russell Denham, 82, and Shirley Denham, 81. His sister Heather Edger, 32, and her son, 3 months old, Mason Schiavone. All the victims' bodies were found on Friday, February 19, 2016 at 11:41 p.m. outside of the grandparents' home near Edgerton on fire. All of the bodies were on fire. The firefighters had to put out the flames before the bodies could be taken for autopsy. They had all died from gunshot wounds. The family dog was also shot and set on fire. The grandparents' car was missing, and so was Denham, who was listed as having lived in the grandparents' address, and who had not been seen by anyone since just before the fire. The police put a BOLO for the grandparents' car, a 2012 Nissan sedan, and for Denham himself. Denham was found early Sunday morning, the 21st, wandering naked outside of a motel Seligman, Arizona. He was questioned by police and he gave them a fake date of birth. They were concerned for his health and took him to a hospital. The motel owner later caught about the Nissan parked oddly in front of the building, and that's where the police found Denham's real estate identification in his clothes he had left next to the car, and learned who he was. The vehicle had originally had handicapped plates, but when it was found in Arizona, the plates had been changed to Oklahoma plates. Denham was arrested and expedited back to Platte County, Missouri, and charged for the murders, car theft, arson, and animal abuse. He pleads not guilty. A hearing determined that the death penalty is on the table should he be convicted. His trial has been put off and date changed on 5 separate occasions, and as of today, he has still not gone to trial. And in March 2020, Judge Van Amberg ruled Denham would be sent to Missouri Department of Mental Health for further mental evaluation, according to the court documents. And on May the 5th, the judge ruled Denham is unfit to stand trial. I ask you, if someone is so mentally ill as to not be able to stand trial, would it be aware enough to try to dispose of the bodies by burning? Would it be aware enough to flee the state and change the license plate on their stolen car? Would it be aware enough to give the police fake information about themselves? No, I don't believe someone severely mentally ill enough to not know shooting 4 people was wrong would have the awareness he clearly had. He knew his action was wrong, and he wouldn't have tried to hide and destroy evidence, not to mention on January 29, 2016, just 17 days before the murders, he was convicted of assault. No mention was made of him being mentally ill at all then. If he was found sane enough to be convicted of that, how could his mental illness deteriorate so quickly and so extremely? This whole situation makes me so angry. It seems like he would get away with it and never stand trial and never answer for what he did. It seems like no one remembers the victims. I don't know what to do other than tell Reddit. I've listed some news articles containing the information I used in the post. And Missouri has something called CaseNet, where you can see all the docket entries and schedule trial or hearing days and the charges and lawyers and everything. I highly recommend checking that out. Here I'm going to read some comments. Some people said, "This took place a couple of hours from me. The entire system in Missouri is so damn slow. If justice is ever to be served, it'll be another 5 years. The entire situation is horrid and definitely didn't get the attention it needed." And another person responded, "Yes, it is ridiculous. They're purposefully trying to make it so he doesn't go to trial because they know he'll be found guilty. They know it. I don't know why the prosecuting attorney isn't pushing this more and demanding justice for the victims. I think it is because Denham and his mother are the only members of the family left, and the mother believes 100% Denham is innocent. Maybe they don't want to hurt her more by having her only child and blood family member left executed. But the judge can decide to give him life in prison instead of execution though, right? And why does the mother's feeling take precedence over justice for the murdered? A 3-month-old baby boy was killed. He deserves justice. If Denham isn't fit to stand trial, does that mean he will never stand trial, or that he will be periodically re-evaluated to see if he has improved enough to go to trial? I just have this terrible feeling in my gut that he would do a few years in a mental hospital then be released. I hope it's not true. I hope it doesn't happen, but I can't shake this feeling justice will never be served and he will walk free again, and that Judge Van Amberg or the prosecuting attorney are in on this conspiracy to protect Denham from the sentence he deserves. Also, another comment reads, just to be clear, unfit to stand trial does not mean the same thing as not guilty by reason of insanity, and it's not like he gets to go home. It really just means that unfit to stand trial. This doesn't mean forever though. If at some point his mental health improves under state care, then they will resume court proceedings. I hope so. If you like this type of videos, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you'll be notified when we make new videos. Also, please hit the thumbs up button. This has been a Mavakaga production. All rights preserved. All rights reserved.